Hi folks, Chris Anderson with Mount Comfort RV. We're here today to do a video on a Dutchstar 4328. This is a 2019 model. Great floor plan, one of my favorites, not my all-time favorite, but certainly one of my favorites. It was just, you know, the sun shining, the birds are chirping. We just decided today's the kind of day to do a video. Okay, we got hammered with a snowstorm over the weekend, and there's not a lot going on at the dealership, so I did have some free time, but it's colder than it's just cold outside. We'll just leave it at that. So anyway, I always try to show the coaches with the slide rooms in. So this is what this coach looks like with the slide rooms in. Now you can option this with a sofa over here, but we optioned it in with the two chairs straight across from the televator TV. As you can see, still very decent walkway. Don't have to turn sideways or anything to get through here. Come back through here. Of course, the two areas we need to get to are the refrigerator. Get to this side, you kind of come past it to get to this side. And then of course the other area we have to be able to get to is the restroom going down the road. This door uses it articulates in the middle, so it is very easy to get into here. So nice setup, good floor plan. You've seen this before if you've watched any of our videos. This is not an uncommon one. So as you know now what we like to do, let's open up the slides and show this the correct way. Okay, so now the slides are opened up. The coach is beautiful. We have it all lit up. First of all, we have Bermuda high gloss glazed maple cabinetry in here. So if you're wondering which cabinets these are, that is what you're looking at. Newmar does all of their cabinets in the Dutchstar. You can pick from high gloss or matte finish. So this is definitely the high gloss. This is, I believe, the sea pearl interior. Yes, this is the sea pearl interior, so that's your choices of Corian, your tile floor, and your fabrics and ultra leathers used on the furniture. And then the outside is the Velocity exterior. So when we get there, which it'll be a quick one, but when we do the outside, that is the Velocity exterior if you want to see what that looks like. So that's what we're looking at, 2019 Dutchstar 4328. Let's get started with some of the features on this coach. Up front, Dutchstar has gone to the brand new digital dashboard. So when this lights up, all the gauges and everything are completely digital instead of the old analog style gauges. One thing I always tell myself to quit forgetting to mention, I'll pull this aside right there. This guy right here, see a little sticker right there, says Dutchstar on it. Those two guys, Spencer Stanley and Carl Snyder, their job all day long is they're Dutchstar service advisors. They don't do Ventanas, they don't do Mountain Airs or King Airs or Canyon Stars, they do Dutchstars. They have an 800 number there. By the way, that's a 24/7 800 number. Somebody takes the cell phone home every night. So you have customer service from actual Newmar guys. You're not getting somebody in another country picking up the phone. No, you're getting actual Newmar guys that do this all day long, that are experts on Dutchstar, are there to help you. That's not just during the warranty period. Just because the warranty expires doesn't mean that they won't help you if there ever is a problem. You know, that's something that I don't know of another manufacturer that does that. Certainly there's companies out there that provide CoachNet, but when you do something, and this is nothing against CoachNet, but you're going to get a generic person that you can call and knows a little bit about all kinds of RVs, but certainly isn't an expert on, you know, how a Newmar Dutchstar slide system works, or you know, what makes the inverter go in this coach. It's nice to have expert help available to you. We did option this in on the Spartan chassis. Okay, you have a choice between Spartan and Freightliner. We love them both. We just so happen to option this one in with the Spartan. So that's what we have going here. Of course, you have 4-point fully hydraulic automatic leveling system. Allison transmission, as you would expect. Now you get up here, a power window over here is nice. You don't normally get that in coaches. Got a little charging station here for a cell phone. If you have an Android phone, it probably already supports wireless charging. If you have an Apple phone, if it's the latest model, I think the 10 will do wireless charging. If it's an older model, you can actually buy a special case that will make it charge. And we have one of those, the passenger's not left out of that equation. Okay, we do have heated seats. Both of these spin around and both of them recline. And they're Flexsteels. Now, our shade up front is, all our shades in here are power shades. Our shade up front, it's nice to have this a power shade because if you're going down the road, you can lower it just a little bit. So if you're heading into the sunshine, you can actually cut a little bit of that out. That's a lot nicer than having some flip down visor or something manual that you have to mess with. Nice to be able to just press a button and do it. Now, some options on this coach. We did option in the X-Site radio. So that's an upgrade. Jbl speakers are standard in here. The sound system in these, you wouldn't believe the expense that Newmar goes through to have these Jbl speaker systems. Are actually, the amplifiers, the subwoofers, the speaker systems, they're actually tuned to this cab area up here, and you can crank this up and the stereo sounds good, which basically never happens in an RV. RVs usually, historically, they've used the cheapest speakers and cheapest radios humanly possible to keep the price down, and they sound like an old AM transistor radio. So not the case on here. You'll like that. Certainly we're Bluetooth capable on here as well. It's also Sirius ready, so you can call and activate Sirius radio if you like your satellite radio system. That we took it one step further. This actually has the 360-degree camera that shows you what's all the way around you. That will show up on this screen right here. I'll try to get the keys and actually demonstrate that a little bit for you towards the end of the video. So we'll see if we can't show you a little bit more about that once we close the slides up again. But the 360 radio is on here, so you have a backup camera, standard equipment, side cameras are standard equipment, then you have 4 additional cameras to that show you what's all the way around you. It's a really slick setup. So moving on, of course, beautiful tile floor in all the high-end Newmar products. We did option in on this one that it's a heated tile floor. Now that's more significant than what you might think. It's kind of a pricey option. It's around $6,500, $6,300, something like that. But it's kind of a pricey option, but what people don't think about sometimes is if it's just a little cool outside, like 50 degrees or something, you can heat the coach with your tile floor. Now that's pretty neat. Number one, it's a very comfortable heat. Number two, it's silent. You know, if your heat pump's running, you're going to hear that. Even though Newmars are quieter than other coaches, you're still going to hear it a little bit, as well as your Oasis system that you can heat with. You're still going to hear that a little bit. The radiant tile heat underneath the main floor here, you don't hear it all, and it is zoned. So we have a living room zone, we have a bedroom zone, and we have the rear master bathroom zone. Those are 3 different zones, and they have low, medium, and high. You can set it to different zones in different places. Just keep the one in the bedroom on. If it's summertime and you just don't like getting up in the middle of the night on a cold floor, you can do that as well. So that's a wonderful option that we've brought in here. Now this does have a televator, as I mentioned earlier in the coach, which means all day long we have our window where we're out looking out under our patio area, but with the press of a button, we actually have our TV that comes up behind there. I love the viewing angles in this coach. One of the things I look at personally, and everybody's different and everybody has different hot buttons, so I'm certainly not trying to put my value system on yours, but I've done this for a while, and one of the things I do look at in a coach is when I walk in, what are my viewing angles going to be? Most of the people that buy a coach of this level, it's usually not somebody with 14 kids they're taking with them or something. It's usually 2 people looking to retire and get away for a little bit, maybe do some snowbirding, maybe do some full timing. That's who's usually using this coach, just a couple. Well, we have 2 beautiful Flexsteel Recliners right here. They could not be better lined up with the television, and you also have a nice spot in the middle to set your favorite icy cold beverage, so that's a nice setup. If you do have guests with you, this does fold out into a bed with an air mattress on it. It's a tri-fold. Let me just show you how that works. This pulls straight up. As you pull it out, these legs come down automatically, and then you just fold this down. The air mattress and the inflator are included in this, so there's really, you don't have to go blowing up an air mattress manually or anything. The inflator's included on that. And what I like about this better than some of the hide-a-bed options is this is fully extended. That'll sleep 2 people comfortably, and I still have an aisle. So if you've got people sleeping in your coach and you want to get out and go outside, you don't have to climb up and over, and that's not always been the case in a lot of motorhome floor plans. You've had to climb up and over. So this folds up just as easily. You flip that up, push this in, and it's back to being a sofa. So beautiful setup there. All right, I know everybody likes to see inside the cabinet, so I'm gonna go from one end to the other in this coach. If we're gonna do cabinets, we'll start over here on the passenger side. Got a nice little cabinet hidden down here. People sometimes laugh at some of the little cabinets Newmar uses, but the truth is, a true RVer, they'll find something to put in there. When we get to this level coach, everything is solid wood in here. Now, most motorhomes, the doors are solid. Everybody talks about their solid wood doors, but they always throw that word door on there because they don't want to talk about the stiles or the slide fascia or anything like that, which is usually a wrapped wood, either a lumber core or a particle board in some cases, and you know, depending on the manufacturer, determines how good of a wrapped wood it is. This is not wrapped at all. This is solid wood, this is solid wood, this is all the wood is solid wood, not just the doors. We lift up this center cabinet here. This is going to be for our entertainment systems. It comes with the Blu-ray player that you see here, and it comes with one in the bedroom as well. But also, you're going to have room in here, and it's all prepped to hook up to your satellite. This does have an in-motion satellite on it. It will work with DirecTV or Dish Network, either one. And putting your receiver in is literally a matter of hooking up a cable to that little guy right there, plugging the HDMI cable into the back of your satellite box, and then you may or may not, depending on whether you're Dish Network or DirecTV, have to flip some switches on the satellite itself the first time, just to tell it which you're doing. So very clean, very easy. We have the Bose Soundbar as well. I like that because it's small and it's Bluetoothable. I don't know if Bluetoothable is a word, but I'm going to use it anyway. Bluetooth capable is probably a little more accurate, but you can tune your cell phone or any other devices you have to play your music through there. So that's obviously something that is very popular these days. This cabinet looks just like the one over here. All right, I'll go up top first. We're going to show you above the microwave. Nice little, I think, spice cabinet. But as I tell people all the time, because I don't know why people ask me, what do you put in there? Folks, if you buy it, I don't care what you put in there. Put what you want in there. But in my mind, that's probably set up for spices. 30-inch convection microwave oven. And it is a Whirlpool. You know, what you have to watch a lot of times when you're looking at RVs and motorhomes, or you start seeing brand names you've never heard of. That's usually not because it's such a high-end appliance. It's usually the opposite is true. They got imported from China by the literal boatload, and it's the cheapest appliance the manufacturer could find. So in here we see names like Whirlpool, Sony, Bose, JBL. These are all top-of-the-line names in the residential world, and they'll be very good in the motorhome application as well. Now, this is an all-electric coach, which means a couple of things. Number one, it means we don't have a propane system. Number two, it means we have a induction cooktop. If you're not familiar with induction cooktops, feel free to give me a call. I have a little portable one I use, and I do love it. These do take special pans, but they're not particularly expensive. They heat very quickly and they cool off very quickly. So it's a nice setup, and the best part about that is no propane involved. By eliminating propane, certainly, you know, your coach is a little safer without propane, number one. Number two, it's one less thing to have to deal with filling. And number three, people like the Oasis system that comes with this, which does your hot water, and it also does your heating of your coach. If you're not familiar with the Oasis system, we did a separate video for hydronic heating. It will be right next to this one if you're on our webpage. If you are viewing this on YouTube, okay, and you want to see some of the related videos that might relate to this, such as comfort drive or such as the hydronic heating, go to our webpage. Our webpage is www.mountcomfortrv.com. I know Tony is such a good editor, he's going to put that right across the screen here. Mountcomfortrv.com, and you'll want to punch in the stock number of this coach, which is 10792. If you do that right on our homepage there's a little search box, 10792. It will show you all the pictures of this actual coach. This video will be linked on there as well, but there'll also be some other videos to some of the subsystems. These videos are long enough to do a thorough walkthrough on this. If I go into the Oasis system, the hydronic system, the emergency exit door, the I lost my train of thought, the comfort drive, geez, spit it out. The comfort drive system, if I do that on every video, these videos will be like an hour and a half long. You don't have time for that, I don't have time for that, so we did some sub videos. All right, moving on to some of the cabinetry here. Drawers. We have drawers. Oh my, look at the remotes in this coach. Now this does have the universal remote in it, which can be programmed to do about 95% of what all of these will do. So that's a nice setup there. This is a remote for your sleep number bed. You have remotes for your blinds in here because these are power shades as well. So that's where we have those kept. Another drawer here. and another one here. And of course these are full extension ball bearing drawer glides. I know everybody says that. They really are. And they're, again, it's all real wood. Not dealing with any particle board or anything. And I try to open all the drawers because if I miss one, somebody sends us a message on the YouTube page saying, hey, what's behind this drawer? Okay, well, we'll try to get them all. Now, this kitchen is a little different than some of the other floor plans because, and I think this one's focused more towards somebody that likes a nice kitchen. Most coaches are kind of galley-like, you know, you're kind of straight down both sides. This angles out, it adds some depth to it. It certainly adds some character to the kitchen, and it also really gives you some nice cabinet space. These are deep. Now they're kind of on a 45-degree angle back there, but look how deep they are. So lots of storage there. Here. Adjustable shelves in there so you can pick whatever you want to put in there. I love the appliance garage. And yes, there's an outlet back in there. Pull the sink out for a minute. We have a dual stainless sink. By the way, all of this Corian work is done in-house at Newmar, as well as the backsplashes. They don't farm that out to anybody. They actually do it at the Newmar plant. And it's, you can tell, I mean, it's, the quality control is there and it's gorgeous. All right, down below, have a little spot here to put your little favorite scrubby in. Storage here. How about a place for the trash can? Everybody always asks me, where do I put the trash can? There's a place for it. There's some room, there's some slots over there to put these Corian sink and stove covers. When you get set up in the camping resort, you might not need those in every time. So you can store them down there. Nice to have a place to put them, and that also protects them. All right. Over here we have a central vac. Now this is a dual central vac. So we have two things. Number one, we have a little guy right here that lights up. Now the nice part about that is, notice it was foot activated. I didn't have to bend over. So I can sweep up the floor, sweep everything up to there. It's like a powered dustpan is what it is. Open it with my foot, sweep the dirt right in, it's gone. But there's also a spot right here, okay, where attachments hook up, and this comes with the hoses and the attachments, and they put it in the middle of the coach because then it's long enough to reach both ends of the coach. Very nice. I'm gonna go back up this side. Let's start with the pantry. Look at the pantry. First of all, it's lit. Second of all, look at these drawers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 huge drawers. I do think this is the nicest pantry in the Newmar lineup. These are adjustable in height. I always tell people, you know, you can set them for cereal boxes or soup cans, it's your choice. But look at those drawers. I'm not gonna open every one, they're all the same. But huge, absolutely huge pantry. I love how it's lit. We have water on the door. Newmar's getting away from doing the refrigerators with the ice on the door. I get asked for that sometimes. Let's address that a little bit. Ice makers on the door. We got to remember these refrigerators, it's a Whirlpool refrigerator. This is something you could go out to Lowe's, Home Depot, Best Buy, that type of thing. You could buy this refrigerator. They weren't necessarily made with RVs in mind. Because of that, they weren't made to necessarily be easy to winterize. Ice makers on the door are a real pain to winterize. Oftentimes people, sometimes even at dealerships, weren't getting it done correctly, and we were having problems. The next spring when they put water back on board, they'd have a leaky ice maker because they didn't get it winterized properly. The water dispenser is pretty easy to winterize. Ice maker on the door, not so much. There is an ice maker in this coach, it's down below, okay? But you don't have ice on the door. It's just not a very good application for an RV. I will open this up, show you the inside. Beautiful LED lighting in there. Now, a question I get quite often is, they're going to these residential refrigerators, what about the propane refrigerators? How's it going to keep cold on the road is one thing I hear. The second thing I hear is, how am I going to boondock in that? Well, I have a couple responses to that. First of all, if you're not already a Class A RVer, most of them don't do a lot of boondocking, if they're very honest, but they want the capability to do it, and I completely get that. The second thing is, technology has gotten better. Battery technology is certainly at an all-time high. The inverter technology is a lot better. And you know, refrigerator technology is, they're more efficient than ever before. So what can we do with all of that? Well, this coach has an inverter in it. There's inverters and converters in motorhomes, okay? Converters take 110 volt household power, 110, 120 volt household power, AC current if you will, and it converts it down to 12 volt DC current, which is what works in our cars, and it's what works all these little lights that you see in here. Those are all 12 volt DC current lights, as are a lot of systems in an RV. An inverter does the exact opposite, and that's what runs our refrigerator. An inverter takes a 12 volt battery like you might have in your car, you hook an inverter up to it, it changes that 12 volt DC current into 110, 120 volt AC alternating current, just like we all have in our homes that we plug devices into. The problem with that is of course, you know, that uses a lot of that 12 volt battery. It'll use it up pretty quickly. We'll drain it pretty quickly. That's why when you go to all electric coaches, we now go to a series of batteries. It's not just one battery doing it. It's actually a series of 8 batteries in this coach, plus the 2 chassis batteries, so 10 batteries total, but 8 house batteries supply the inverter, okay? So obviously that's gonna drain a lot slower. Number one. So we could run this coach for somewhere between 24 and 48 hours without any, if the batteries are, you know, good batteries and we're fully charged, 24 to 48 hours you could run in this coach without any extra influences from a generator or from being plugged in or from the engine running. When you're driving down the road, your alternator on this coach charges those batteries. Those batteries supply the inverter supplies the refrigerator. How long can you do that? Forever, because the alternator on the coach will charge the batteries quicker than the inverter is discharging the batteries. So that's I call it the cycle of life in motorhomes. That will go forever. So that's how these refrigerators, residential refrigerators work. If you are boondocking, a couple things. Again, you have 24 to 48 hours you can boondock without, you know, having to plug in or anything. Number one. Number two, this coach is equipped with auto generator start, so you can turn your auto generator start on. When your battery hits a certain voltage, you set it to perhaps 11.7 volts. When your batteries dip to 11.7 volts, the generator automatically starts up, runs for 3 hours, charges your batteries back up, and the cycle of life starts over again. So that's how you can do it. If you want more information on that, let me know. Moving on, let's look at some more cabinetry here. Up above the dinette, we have 3, sorry, try to get my head out of the way, doors. Now notice these are up on the struts. You don't have to be the one-arm loader here. They'll hold themselves up. Also, those struts pull down. Watch, when I get close, that door pulls tight. You don't think about that, but that's actually very important, because if it didn't have that strut on there and they just kind of had a loose, flimsy latch, that's what causes things to rattle going down the road. You know, you're driving the coach and you're hearing this, in a very short amount of time, that, well, can't speak for you, but that would drive me nuts. So these are pulled nice and tight. They don't rattle. So that's a beautiful thing. New for 19, the wood window boxes. I forgot to mention that. So I love the wood window boxes. Forever we've had those valances with the fabric on them. The problem is with fabrics, you know, even the most neutral fabrics, they come and go on style. 2 years later, it might not be fashionable anymore. Wood is forever, so that's a nice thing. I'm gonna move this chair out. Okay. Drop this down. What do we have here? We have a little computer tray. We have a little hole here where we can shove wires down through for a printer. And that's an adjustable shelf, so you can fit whatever size printer you want down there. Okay, we have more storage. This is a little trickier to get to. Okay. And then let me move this other chair. Show you this half. Nice little odds and ends drawer here and here. And then down here, that's set up for a hanging file. So you can actually put the little hanging file in there and you're good to go. Moving on. 3 more cabinets up above. These are a little deeper. These jet out just a little bit. I'm sorry, 4 more. Counting was never my specialty. These are all also lined. Okay, the lining in there keeps things quiet, keeps things from sliding around, keeps things quiet going down the road. Quiet's a big thing. So let's shut these. These are both recliners. They're Flexsteel Recliners. More storage here and here, and one more little spot there. All right. Oh, I forgot to go up here. Looky here, the brains of the operation. This has everything in it. Very quickly, I'm going to go over this. If you want more detail, please call me. This is your inverter control and your auto generator start that we talked about. This is your television antenna for over-the-air antenna. These are different lights, the block heater, the satellite system, the exterior step. your exterior LED lights, there's lights that shine down under the slide room. That's all controlled from right here. This runs my front 2 slides in and out. This controls my hydronic heating, my Oasis system. Awning lights are here. Girard awning control is here. This is my energy management system. And this screen tells me how much is in all my tanks and how much juice my batteries have. I know that's a very quick explanation of that. I could spend an hour on this, and it's pretty obvious by now. If you're first time watching a video by me, you know I don't mind talking. So up here, one more little storage spot we missed. Like I said, can't have it. Can't be missing these storage spots. We did option in the front TV. If you don't want the front TV, you can order this with another cabinet up here. On to the bedroom. All right, in this bedroom, we actually feature a king-size Sleep Number bed. There's storage underneath, and it's up on struts. You see here, there's 2 extra chairs. Now, those are in the same upholstery, but they're folding chairs. Again, most of the time, this is purchased by 2 people. That table does pull out, by the way, to give you some more tabletop space. 2 people who are in these coaches most of the time, but if you have guests over, you obviously want to be able to play cards, that type of thing. Dual pane windows in all Newmar Dutchstars. I forgot to mention that. I'm going to open 2 of these cabinets, and you're going to have to use your imagination for the other 2. My arm's not that long. Those 2 over there look just like these 2 here. Again, lined, nice deep storage, and they're up on struts. 2 wardrobe closets in the bedroom. They will both look like this. Hanging space at the top. All right, and then we have the drawers. These pull out to come past the cabinet. Nice deep drawers. Okay. This one is a drop down. It has that other Blu-ray player in it. So you have 5 drawers and an AV cabinet. Again, there's room and pre-wired in there for satellite system. Here's your other closet if you want to see that. It's been brought to my attention, I've missed the half bath. How can I miss the half bath? Tony and I can't both get in there, so I'm gonna let him do the filming. Got a beautiful medicine cabinet. Cosmetic light's not on right now. This room has its own heater switch in it, so you can determine whether you want heat going in here or not. I will tell you, it's such a small room, you probably won't leave it on all the time, only when you're going to be in there. But it is a small room, and it gets warm in there. I walked in there earlier and it was really quite warm. These full wall slide coaches can be divided off. Oh, missed a cabinet. Can't do it. There's one of these on either side. Now notice there's outlets on both sides of the bed as well, and those outlets have USBs in them, as do a lot of the other outlets in this coach. Okay, we're ready to show the cockpit area now. I didn't have the keys last time. Rookie mistake, won't happen again. I have the keys now, and we're going to show you the new digital dash and the camera, the 360 camera, that type of thing. I did think it was funny. As soon as we cut that last take, Tony started in with, "Jiminy Christmas, is the heated floor on? My feet are roasting." Yes, I did have the heated floor on. It's cold outside. So Tony can vouch that by moving the camera up and down, there you go, that the heated floor absolutely works very, very well. He was nice and roasty toasty in here. All right, let's show the digital dash. First thing, let's focus in on this over here. We'll show how the new dash lights up. Okay, so we turn the key on. It's preheating now. Be a little Spartan logo come up here. There we are. You see all your gauges. It says wait to start right there. That's just while the engine finishes preheating. We'll crank it over. Thing about a diesel pusher is you really don't hear them. You feel it a little bit, and you kind of have to watch your tachometer to tell when it actually lights up. So you can see we're idling here. somewhere around 750 RPMs. See all your gauges here. They're very easy to see even at night, which I think is the whole idea of the digital, is just so much brighter and easier to see, which is good. Now we'll move on to our cameras. One of my cameras, my backup camera's obviously got some moisture, some ice on it. You can see the snow around our dealership. Is what it is. We're dealing with some weather here, folks. So this is our camera system. When I turn on my turn signal, my left turn signal shows you down the left-hand side. The right turn signal shows you down the right-hand side. So there we go. And then by default, it'll come back to the normal camera. Over here we have our 360 camera, and you're seeing all the way around the coach. That white line on the left hand side, that's the white line out here on my concrete. And what it is there's 4 cameras, one on each side and one on the front and one on the back, and they're wide angle lenses, and then the computer stitches it together in the corners and makes it really pretty remarkable how well you can see. And then you see, you can have this screen up while you're going down the road, but more importantly, while you're in that tight gas station, you can see that. And then this is our backup camera as well. Now I'm going to step in front of the camera here for just a second, walk past Tony. You can keep it focused on that screen if you will, Tony. I'm going to demonstrate the 360 camera. Tony will stay zoomed in on that. I'm going to walk around the coach. You'll be able to see me, even though the 4 cameras are kind of working together. You'll see me walk all the way around the coach. All right, so how slick is that? Neat camera system, really handy when you're trying to negotiate this coach around tight areas, gas stations, campgrounds, trees, that picnic table that snuck up on you. You know, we have a wonderful body shop here at Mount Comfort RV. I never want you to have to use it, but it is there. But you know, nobody has big catastrophic wrecks in these. Those are very, very few and far between. It's always that scraped compartment door, that yellow mark on the side that you know is the gas pump. Those are the type of things that happen. The 360 camera helps prevent against that. It's one of the neatest things to come down the line in a long, long time. I love the feature. All right, let's go look at the outside. Okay, if you can look at this and not feel like jumping in that RV, driving someplace warm, you know, if that's not how that makes you feel, I don't know what's wrong with you, because this is not good. Okay, sunshine, beaches, that's what it's all about. But anyway, let's look at the outside of this coach. Now, before any of you make any wisecracks in the comments section, Newmar is very gracious to supply me a jacket. Why it had to be bright yellow, I don't know, but it is the warmest of all my jackets. So I'll be waiting for your, let me steal one from you right now. Yes, it's Rick from Pawn Stars meets the Gorton Fisherman, okay? So there you go, I'll get that one out of the way. Let's go look at this coach. We did option in the stainless package on this one, and this outside walkthrough is going to be a little quicker for obvious reasons. If you can see my breath, you know I'm going to be moving. We did option in the stainless package and the stainless steps. Just looks good all the way around. This does have the flagpole holder. You can fly your colors. Okay, side camera is there. That's your turn signal activated camera. We do have the keyless entry. This will unlock and lock your coach, your baggage doors, everything, and even a doorbell. Can't beat that. Aluminum wheels. Aluminum wheels cool better. They don't get as hot going down the road. They don't rust, and they look cool. Fuel can be filled from either side. That's beautiful, because you know your open pump always seems to be on the wrong side otherwise. This pulls out far enough. Even with the slide room fully extended, you can get into your freezer. This is a refrigerator or a freezer, either one. Your call on that. That is all electric. Nice pass-through storage here. You can see the spare tiles that Newmar ships with it. By the way, when you open these doors, there's LED lights. There's a master switch on the inside, but there's you have these little buttons on here. So the LED lights underneath come on automatically. So at night, you'll be able to see great in here. You do have a pull-out tray that passes through, pulls out either side. With Newmar, one of the things, I didn't talk about it in this video, but it still stands. Thickest floor, thickest walls, thickest roof, most insulation, studs every 16 inches on center. It's the easiest to heat, easiest to cool, quietest coach on the market. Please don't take my word for that. Come see for yourself. Come drive one. Come see how quickly these cool down in the summer and warm up in the winter. And everybody talks about how great their coach is insulated, but their baggage doors aren't as thick as mine, and their floor is usually about 1/4 of an inch thick. This floor is this thick, full of insulation. Look at these baggage doors. It makes a difference. Your TV on this coach, because of the way they did the kitchen on the inside, they couldn't really put the TV in the sidewall. I don't think that's a horrible thing. Usually if you're watching TV out here, you're sitting in your favorite chair. This can actually pull down to this angle here. Now if you're seated, you've not only got a sunshade over your TV, the sun's not putting a glare on that television. So it's not a bad angle to have. And this still pulls out and swivels either direction. You have outlets galore in this coach. You have one in here, you have one in this compartment, you have one up there by the freezer. So there's all kinds of exterior electricity around here. Of course, the Bose Soundbar as well. Now, this is where we add our DEF. DEF is diesel exhaust fluid. All new diesel engines have this feature. If you don't know exactly what that is or what that does, call me. I'm not going to get into it because, you know, it's cold. What I will get into is they made it this year so you can fill that from either side. These, I mentioned 10 batteries total. These are the first two. These are your chassis batteries. These are what starts your coach. Let's move on to the back. We have a 450 horsepower Cummins ISL engine with 1,250 foot-pounds of torque and a side radiator. Why do I mention side radiator? Because you know what? If the radiator was back here, this stuff's hard to get to. With a side radiator, if I needed to change a belt, or if I had a squeaky belt and I just needed tightened or something, I can do it myself. I don't have to drive it to the shop. This is the Spartan chassis. It'll tow 15,000 pounds behind it. It has an air chuck on the back here. That is your tow brake system. If you are familiar with an Air Force One braking system that you can put on your car, it's completely proportional. That's the nice part about the Air Force One, is how hard you hit the brake pedal in here, that energy is transferred proportionately to your tow vehicle through the air system. This is all prepped for it. So the Air Force One system will cost you a little less because you're only buying half of it. Most of the time, the Air Force One system, there's the half that goes on the Toad, there's the half that goes on the motorhome. Spartan put it on for you. This is the DEF fill on the driver's side. This is a steerable tag axle. In other words, it follows you along when you're going below, I believe it's 40 or 45 miles an hour on the Spartan chassis. Those rear tag wheels will just follow you along, makes your turning radius a little sharper, also keeps you from scrubbing tires sideways on the asphalt. We have a whole house water filtration system, power hose reel. These are just nice conveniences. It's very easy. You see the siphon tube here. It is very easy to winterize this coach. You have hot and cold water out here. You have a 50-foot, 50-amp shore power cord, also on a power reel. We have the hydronic heating system, the Oasis system up here. There's the other half of that slide-out tray. More pass-through storage. I mentioned 8 batteries. Those are the other 8. And they're on a pull-out tray, so they're easy to get to. These are some chassis electronics here. Isn't it a beautiful day? I mean, there's just icicles everywhere. Come on. This is the chassis electronics, chassis fuses, that type of thing. Now I'm going to pull this handle right here. Hopefully, if it's not frozen shut, my generator will open up. There we go. We're good. I've got a prop rod right here. And let's talk about this. We have a 10K Onan diesel generator. We have a hot water line running up here, hot water to gen option, so it's easier to clean bugs off with hot water than cold. Our air horns are contained in this area up here. And look at this, this gets better on the 43-foot Dutchstars. Make sure that's in there good. I'm gonna pull this little handle right here. And our Jenny slides out. That's so much easier for serviceability. I mean, you can service it if it doesn't slide out, but man, is it easier if it does. How slick is that? All right, I'm gonna push this back in here. Folks, that really pretty much does it on this coach. I think I've given you enough information to call and give me your credit card. No, okay. We'll talk. We'll answer any other questions you might have. Please don't forget to like our video. That helps us generate more popularity on YouTube. So that's, if you're not in the market for a motorhome, that's fine. Just like our video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button. Call me with any questions. Thank you for watching. My name's Chris Anderson. I'm not Rick from Pawn Stars. Chris Anderson, not the Gorton Fisherman. Mount Comfort RV. Thanks for watching.